In the far reaches of northwestern China, on the edge of the Gobi Desert, the Uyghur people live in some of the harshest environmental conditions on Earth. Not the least of their difficulties is finding safe drinking water in this dry and barren landscapes. The water that they do collect from rivers, glacial streams and ground wells contains dangerously low levels of iodine, causing iodine deficiency throughout the population. Iodine deficiency causes numerous medical problems, ranging from a lowered IQ to stunted growth, as well as more severe forms of mental and physical impairment. The most recognisable sign of iodine deficiency is the swelling of the thyroid gland and a growth on the neck known as a goiter. RFA reporters spoke with a Uyghur woman outside of Kashgar who noticed a swelling in her neck around 20 years ago. Without money to seek medical advice, the swelling was left to grow, until in 2006, when pain was so severe, she was forced to visit a doctor in Kashgar city.
Kışka doktorların da köz yetmedi oğay, ürüm tütümün mutkaz taksın teklik kıtken. O dem çirep, bu bana kulakman tomurlan bir jiyken. Hatta çıkıtken ölüp keti şadı sılıp keti bala kulak şu dep, amma veyat etti meni. Şunu doktorhanağın bağım edem, ben de yerlik şoltuz var mı? Onu içmedim şunu, 2006 yılını içmedim. Aktız iç otu men. Ama şu barbara, tumaklım şerlerim çankılayıp, ağrıydı hazırım.
Iodine is a trace element, transferred to water, crops and livestock through the soil. But in the remote region of Xinjiang, a lack of iodine in the soil, as well as little access to other iodine-rich food sources like fish, have resulted in iodine deficiencies, which have plagued the people of this land for generations. Throughout the 1990s, goiters had become endemic, with reports that more than 40% of children suffered from them. Today, there are still some cases in more remote regions, but for the majority it appears the problem is finally coming under control. A doctor at a Uyghur hospital in Kashgar tells us he has not seen a single case in the past 10 years.
Yok, 没有，传闻没有，现在没有。这个我这个15岁的，15岁前那个有。我15岁的话看了，所以和田的还有那个哈市的人的，都能比咱们大脖子吗？大脖子有呢，我看了，这个10年没有10年现在，10 yılını çıkarıp bakımdan geçen. Adette var yutkamlı kasallıklar şu nervy sistemasının taraqqiylashig'a ta'sir ko'rsatgan mi? Aşağı nervy sistemasi taraqqiy qilmagan ekan, qalqon simanbasi xizmat kuchayib ketgan ekan, bo'yi o'smaydi-ku bolaning. Paka. Andan keyin devanglik kasallik keltirib chiqadi. Shu nervy sistemasi taraqqiy qilmasligidan keltirib chiqadi. Hozir buni hukumat o'ngshayapti. Hozir qo'saqda onasi homildor mazgilda yutkamlikni ukulni urtaydi. Tug'ilib bilan kajimi o'sati shu. Shu hammasi shu yutkamlikning kasalning oldini oladigan ukulni uraveradi. U hozir unda kasal yo'q. Devanglik kasallik yo'q, dal dushlik kasallik deganda. Nervous system
There are many methods of introducing iodine into the diet, such as adding iodine to irrigation water and thereby increasing iodine content in crops. But the most successful method, introduced in the early 20th century, is to add iodine to salt. It is considered to be the most appropriate method of increasing iodine intake because almost everyone in the community consumes salt daily. In an attempt to increase the consumption of iodized salt in Xinjiang, the regional government, in collaboration with UNICEF, has been providing each household with a ration of salt. An anonymous source at the Kashgar Salt Office told us that each resident receives a 5-kilogram ration of salt every year. When this is finished, people must then purchase the salt themselves. The challenge now is encouraging people to continue purchasing iodized salt rather than collect the natural earth salt, which is abundant through the region. It also helps that iodized salt is being used in the production of local foods. Yusuf owns a roadside bread stall and uses iodized salt every day to make his traditional breads.
İşte tuz degenniki adamning jini. Tuz bo'lmasa hech qanday ish qilgan bo'lmaydi. Tamoqni etgan bo'lmaydi. Tuz bo'lmasa, nonni yoqqan bo'lmaydi, tuz bo'lmasa. Men o'zim setib olaman tuzni. O'zim setib olaman tuzni. O'zim setib olib, nonga ishlataman, uyg'im ishlataman, o'zim ichaman tuzni. Anda poqa kelsa hozir bu asachata tugdi. Dehqonlarimiz hozir o.
Over the past decades, China has become a world leader in the introduction of iodized salt. Between 1995 and 2005, the use of iodized salt in households raised from 40% to meet the target of 90%. Now, more than 96% of households in China are consuming iodized salt. And while the difficulties in sourcing safe drinking water continue across the region, the government is making real progress towards a complete eradication of iodine deficiency disorders nationwide.